and he was a bag boy and worked for Home Depot. And his father was Terry Wilson, who was a noted certified public accountant. And Agnes Wilson was a homemaker and a real nice mother for Charles. And Aubrey Hall was Charles Wilson's daughter, and the sister of Charles Wilson, and she became a noted certified public accountant as well. And James Hall was a deputy sheriff and Aubrey's husband, and Tommy Sneed was Charles Wilson's attorney, and Lawrence Fountain was a friend of Charles Wilson, and Pamela Combs was a tax client. Now, as far as reverse guilty plea is concerned, the overall gist of the story is it's an unusual family feud based on petty differences which led to the wrongful incarceration. That's a tongue twister there. Of one of its own, causing turmoil behind the curtains of the Wilson family home. The protagonist, Charles, tried to do the right thing, but his intentions did not serve him well. Now, Charles was a bag boy, and he worked for Home Depot. And when his father, Terry, became a wealthy certified public accountant, he called him to do certified public work for him at a certified public accountant home in Biloxi, near Biloxi on the Gulf Coast. And this is when all the trouble started. On the other hand, the villain, his younger and only sister Aubrey, got away with grand theft and became the sole beneficiary of the family estate. Now, one of the main reasons I've written this book is the unfair justice system in the United States. Rising crime rates have led to a lack of efficiency in the U.S. judicial system, which endangers its proper functioning. The flawed system is a problem for ordinary Americans because, like Charles, they or their loved ones can inevitably become victims of it. As Charles learned, public defenders often encourage defendants to plead guilty, but I suggest fighting to clear one's record because a criminal record can limit one's ability to earn a living wage, or worse, disenfranchise them. And one of the main reasons also I've written this book is to give convicted felons the right to vote again after they've been convicted of a felony. And they show they want to live a clean life after they've been convicted. They want to go straight. I think they should be given the right to vote. And there are certain felonies that will keep a person from voting in the state of Mississippi, and certain ones that will allow them to vote. Now, here's the ones that will keep a person from voting in Mississippi. It's murder, arson, armed robbery, bigamy, bribery, embezzlement, extortion, felony bad check, felony shoplifting, forgery, larceny, obtaining money or goods under false pretense, perjury, rape, receiving stolen property, robbery, theft, timber larceny, unlawful taking of a motor vehicle, statutory rape, or carjacking. Once a felon serves his or her time, she should be eligible to vote. Aren't all ex-con citizens? And with that, I'll leave the floor open for anybody that has any questions or wants to ask anything about the book itself.
Well, I thought it was interesting that the teenager just asked you a few minutes ago what was bigamy.
It's being married to more than one person at a time.
Yeah. That was interesting.
And any further questions?
The main character, could you tell us a little bit more about the main character?
He was a good person. In fact, he wanted to help his family. And he got in a situation that got him in trouble with the law when he was there to help his family in a real tight situation. His family got old, and he was there to help them around the house and do household chores and everything. And his good intentions didn't serve him well, I'll just put it that way, and he got in trouble with his sister and his father, although he maintained good relations with his mother.
Well, I think that's awesome that you using your voice to encourage ex-cons to use theirs.
Yes, it's very important because that would be an incentive for people who are convicted of crimes to go straight, to be able to vote and express their right to vote in elections, and not be hampered by the fact they can never vote again, you know.
Right.
But they are U.S. Citizens.
U.S. citizens, just like
Yes.
everybody else.
Yes.
And there are actually some felonies where you can vote, and the discrepancy of it all is what's hypocritical about it, because there's some serious felonies where you can still vote, where there's some other serious felonies where you cannot vote, and there needs to be an overhaul of the whole system, you know.
So what do you hope to, when people read the book, what do you hope that they will get out of it?
I hope they will see that not all things that appear to be crimes actually are crimes, and people are caught up in the judicial system that really don't belong there, and they don't have enough money to get out, or post bond or post bail, and once they get in there, they're trapped, and they're in there for 2 years awaiting even an arraignment sometimes. And they get in there and they have to plead guilty or innocent after 2 years. And if they go on and plead not guilty, they have to wait another year just to face trial before a judge. And if they're found guilty on top of that, they can be there another 5 years. Where the public defender comes in there and doesn't even listen to the facts of their case and offers them a plea bargain agreement where they can get out right at the moment and not have to worry about any of that, you know. But that's not really getting to the truth of the matter, who actually committed the crime. In fact, there are no Columbos anymore, you know. There are no Perry Masons anymore. And the facts of the matter of the case just aren't considered anymore, you know. In fact, Charles Wilson wrote his attorney many times and never received a response from him.
Was Charles Wilson, his attorney was a public defender?
Public defender, he never responded to any of his correspondences. And he was in the dark about what to do the whole time, you know, about how to handle the court situation, since he had never been in jail before. He didn't know what to do, you know. He was 50 years old and never had been in jail before.
I suspect a whole lot of Charles Wilsons are walking around right now today.
Yeah, and you really don't know who's innocent and who's guilty.
Yeah.
And the whole purpose of the court system is to give people the benefit of the doubt. When they go to trial, each person is presumed not guilty and proven guilty. But the way the court system's set up now, they're presumed guilty and proven innocent.
Okay.
It's not like on Adam 12 and Dragnet anymore, you know.
That's the truth.
That's interesting.
I have any questions?
Okay. Well, I'll get up and read a couple of poems.
Okay.
Thanks, William.
Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Great story.
Thank you.
Feel like a whole lot of people that's been in the same predicament.